My action research study will include packing lunches the night before for myself, husband, and 2 daughters to make it to my classroom in the morning before or at 7:20 a.m. to set up. During a 3-week period, I will be measuring my success rate each day. The basis of this study is to be able to make it to my classroom on time in the morning and have time to set up. I currently have 2 young daughters, one in kindergarten and the other in 1st grade. Before my action research study, I would pack all of our lunches in the morning before school started, and I would find myself rushing out the door frantically, trying to figure out if I provided enough food for everyone for the day. To top it off, I was running around my classroom to set up before first period started. Therefore, I have a case that needs to be solved and action is required. I implemented my action research plan the first week by packing all of our lunches the night before. This particular week I didn't pay much attention to what was going into our lunches. However, I knew that was something to look at once the week was over. I decided to do some more research and find ways to implement good, heart-healthy foods for my family. So once the weekend hit, I decided to change up the menu for all of our lunches and include more fruit and vegetables for the whole family. I realized that because I was packing all of our lunches the night before, I can spend more time on what is being placed in the lunches rather than just packing lunches, and one less thing for me to do before I go to bed. Some items that I replaced were fruit roll-ups, gushers were replaced with apple slices, oranges, and grapes. Lunchables replaced with tuna sandwiches, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or a ham sandwich. Bags of chips were replaced with pretzels or the 100-calorie packets of popcorn or wheat thins. I also added some almonds, peanut mix, or granola bars to our lunches for an extra snack, as well as sugar snap peas and or carrots. After replacing junk food with some healthy food, I realized it was still more work than I thought. I am a very busy teacher, student, mother, and wife, so by the end of the day I found myself to be very exhausted. And there were days where I just didn't feel like packing lunches that night. I realized quickly that consistency is crucial. No matter what it takes, I have to pack lunches that night, or I wasn't going to have enough time to set up my classroom. So I decided to have my 2 daughters assist in the packing of their lunches, and I would do the rest. This actually worked. My 2 daughters enjoyed packing their lunches to an extent, and they seemed to feel like they took ownership of their lunch. Not only were they choosing healthy foods, but we were able to bond in that moment each night. The results of this study were very successful. The change of eating habits for lunch wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. However, I know it had to be done. It is important to live a healthy lifestyle, not only by exercising, but nutrition-wise as well. As mentioned before, consistency is a key factor. Packing lunches the night before allows me to get to my classroom so I can set up. There were mornings where I was able to make a warm breakfast meal in the morning for my family, which we all thought was great. The conclusions of this study were that I not only was able to come up with a schedule of packing our lunches, as a result, my family is now eating a lot healthier than before. We are all enjoying these positive changes as well. The fact that I am getting to my classroom in time to set up, I don't feel rushed at all. This is definitely something that I would implement in my daily life. It works out great for me and my 2 daughters to spend time packing lunches together. Not only am I using this plan, I also have my 2 daughters picking out their clothes the night before so that they will have more time to spend on eating breakfast and watching some cartoons in the morning. This action research plan was very successful. I enjoyed the fact that I was able to get my 2 daughters involved, and this alleviated stress on my busy schedule already. By implementing a plan and adjusting it along the way, I created something that I will practice on in the future.